Hey everybody, it's Lewis Porter Jr. Here we are at our lovely, another overcast, slightly nice, calm day here in Plantation, Florida. Of course, it is June 21st. I guess the month of June is basically over. Well, got 11 more days, 10 more days, 9 more days. So it's almost over, so it's been a good month. I've enjoyed this month. It's been a nice, lovely month. A lot of good stuff going on. So yeah. I mean, with the title that I wrote today, you can kind of guess what we're going to be talking about, and what kind of controversy I'm sure is going to be involved with it. So, as usual, I'm just going to talk for a little bit before we get started on that topic, and just, tell people what's going on. If people have been following the LPJ Design, we just released the cover for our Protean Scribe. That is our storyteller class we were working on for a long time. It's been in development for a long time. I did the initial layout on the book last night. I still need to go through and clean it up, but it's just getting it out there and putting it together. That was set up last night, so I'm guessing tonight I'm going to do some more spaces for artwork and some other changes and work on a couple things. But I'm hoping if we get it done and clean, we can have it back probably on the stands, I'm saying within a week or 2 weeks. But let's say 2, because 2 is always safe. That never causes a problem with 2 weeks. So we've got that going on. I'm sure a lot of you saw the images for New Exodus when we had them spread out, all the pages. Yeah, I'm trying to print out the next chapter so you guys can see what that one's going on. It's just a lot of time and effort. You know how that is. Just getting it all together. So that's what we're working on with that. But, everything's going well. We have a new idea coming out, I'm going to guess, as of today, September-ish. I got Michael and Jeff to sign off on it. I guess they like the look of it. Thanks, Jacob. I do appreciate that. It's really, I don't want to announce it yet because it's still very raw, still very new. We're still putting it together. But I'm hoping by the time you see it in September, it will remind you of something you've already seen before. I think a lot of people will appreciate it. It's a cool idea. Like I said, I don't want to announce any of it today, but it's still a very cool idea. Plus, we still need to work on some stuff. Plus, we got to get in contact with a couple more writers to get them on the project so we can get this, ahead in the right way, and also have a backlog of what we're planning to do. There you go. All right, so today's topic, of course, Free RPG Day, and I believe Free RPG Day is, in the core of its sense, a good idea. I think using the Free Comic Book Day was a great model to follow after. I'm a huge fan of Free Comic Book Day. I think it's great. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think that the comic book industry has embraced it better than anyone ever thought possible. I think they've done everything to make sure it's successful. Getting the big companies involved, the Marvels and DCs, they signed on and said, yes, we love it. We want to do this. We think it's great. On top of that, getting even the minor guys on and finding a way to get them involved with it. That's just as great. And I think those are really the winning. That's the winning pieces. You get these guys involved. You find a way to get them involved. Everyone's happy. Everyone gets good stuff, and everyone walks away very happy. And I think, if I still remember correctly, Free Comic Day was created by Flying Colors out in Concord. I still believe. I think that's right. I got to check the history on that, but I think because the original guy I know was one of the winners of the Eisner Award, the Spirit of Retailing Award. I think he developed it and has become what it is today, which is an awesome event. It happens yearly, so much so that I think it's the great combination that the guys at Free Comic Book Day have tied it into movie releases. So superhero movie release comes out that Friday, the same kind of day. It's kind of a win-win, especially it's for fan base. So I think that just ties in kind of perfect. That now. It's funny, I'm getting text in the middle of doing the video, so I'm trying to read this and all this stuff going on. So I thought was a good idea to do. The problem that I have with Free RPG Day is, well, a couple things. Let me start with the first thing, and this is the one that I think is the easiest to fix and would help out tremendously. The name. Free Comic Book Day is very simple. Free Comic Book Day. Hey, I wonder what happens on Free Comic Book Day. Well, I assume you're getting free comic books. What happens on Free RPG Day? Well, I assume you're getting free RPGs. What's an RPG? Rocket propelled gun? You know, it's the anachronism, RPG anachronism, doesn't mean anything. If they change their name to Free Game Day, I think that alone would help out at least on some of the easy perception. Oh, free game day. Oh, they're giving away free games. You know, free RPGs. They're gonna free. If I don't know what an RPG is, and that's like the problem. I think we're so close to the problem we've forgotten the basics of. Hey, not everybody understands the lingo. This happens a lot. I mean, this happens a lot in marketing and businesses. People, you know, they talk in business code. You know, like the ROI on this investment will be great because it's like, well, if you don't know what ROI means, it's like, well, I don't understand what that means. What? And you kind of have to, for a lack of a better term, dumb it down. You know, free games day makes kind of sense. Oh, we're getting free games. Oh, what kind of games are these? And even if people are confused, they don't realize they're tabletop games, we want them to look and say free games day. Because people want to talk about free games day. It doesn't have to be free tabletop games day, just free games day. Games. They're all different types of games, but they're still games. And you get people used to picking up games. And that's an issue that has always been, I don't know, I think it's just an easy way to fix the most simplest thing. Number two, you really need to get the buy off from the retailers. And I mean, you know, I don't know, well, compared to, I guess, comics a little bit easier to get the retailers to buy off, because I know for Free RPG Day, I did it twice. And I said, I basically spent money to get the books printed, do other stuff. Before we sent the books out, we talked to, we actually sent an email and talked to retailers about what was coming out and what was going to be in Free RPG Day. Then after it came out, like 2 weeks later, we went back and talked to them about, hey, how can we get our products in your store? These same guys literally saw our products in their hands, looked them over, gave many of them out to people, kept some for themselves, sold them, but still couldn't remember, oh, what was it? I don't remember. And my theory always goes back to, it's tough to get impact on retail stores if you're not in the top, 5%, because that's all they care about. But to me, I thought it was kind of silly that you got a publisher going out of his way to try to sell more products in your store and trying to get people interested in buying more products, because that's the name of the game. How much product can we sell in your store? So, most of the retailers were, it seemed to me like I was bothering them trying to sell my product, because they don't care. Look, for them, I'm sure it's like anything else. If the margins were great, they'd want to sell it. And it's just like, I don't understand why they were so negative on it. And because you see the comic guys, got something in my glasses. The comic guys, I didn't get that same feeling. I mean, they felt like, wow, man, they're making free books and bringing people in, yeah. But Free RPG Day always felt like, oh, they're bothering me. Oh, how dare they bother me on my day that I'm working? And they're trying to get people to, and it had that same kind of feeling. I never felt the retailers were ever going to buy into it. And I think that's 90% of it. Because when they didn't feel like they were buying into it, they didn't care about it. And we're talking about like really good retailers, well thought out retailers. Those are but let's be honest, those are the guys who were doing Free RPG Day. I mean, in my hometown, we have, no joke, we have within the distance of 3 miles, there's 3 different stores. No, I'm sorry. Well, it's just all right. That was correct. There are 3 gaming stores and 3 comic book stores. 2 of the stores are crossover stores. But in such a small space, only one of them was doing Free RPG Day. But I know on Free Comic Book Day, the 3. I think. What cool stuff was it? Cool stuff sells games. Adventure sells games. What is that? Hope's Comics sells comics, and Past Present Future sells games and comics. So on the Free Comic Day, the guys who did comics are doing that. On Free RPG Day, the guys who the only one, Adventure Game Store was the only one that was doing Free RPG Day. And it's like, why not? Why would you not have more? If you own a game store, why would you not try to find a way to get people to come into your store? I didn't understand that, and that happened. But I don't know. It's very odd. And did I see any like press for it? There was no press for it, and even in like minor things, there wasn't even an online press for it. It wasn't like every website I went to had an ad saying, "Hey, don't forget this date, Free RPG Day. Go to your local store." If they don't want to spend money on TV ads, I get that. It's not, that's easy, but you can get online and do that. You can pick up, Geek and Sundry. There were no ads on Geek and Sundry. You didn't think it was good to have maybe like a 15-second ad there? Or even a 5-second ad. Free RPG Day, Sunday, da-da-da. There you go. check your local stores. And it could have been handled that way, and it wasn't. It just was kind of a mess. It was a mess from like the beginning, and it's just, and I don't blame Aldo for it. I just think RPGs are not built to be sold in the way they are, especially for like free RPG day. I think it has to be a different vibe. And somebody suggested, which I kind of agree, maybe at the cons. Maybe the free RPG day is released at like Origins or Gen Con. Maybe that kind of stuff. Yeah, Dale. Dale says, even ask Geek and Sundry if they do a free article. You'd think they'd want to do a free article. You think you wouldn't have to ask them. This kind of stuff you'd think it would be like obvious. Why are we, and once again, back to the same thing, why are we begging people to help promote something they are interested in? Why aren't we just naturally doing that? Why is that not a natural connection? Oh, Geek and Sundry, they play games. Why isn't there, they have International Game Day, but they have free RPG. It's like, they're not thinking. And they're kind of combating against each other. It's just, once again, it's like these are opportunities that we seem to miss constantly in this industry. And it's just, and the statement is true. The statement is true that, we're not getting younger players. Even though we need younger players, we're not getting younger players. And that goes back to, how do you get younger players interested? Well, they're all on video games. Well, younger players playing Magic. I see tons of young kids playing Magic. Let's find some way to get them involved in the same way with gaming. And I know a lot of companies have tried, and are attempting to try right now, doing the young kid versions of their campaign settings. Which I think is a good idea. I've said it many times on this. But at the same time, it's like, it goes back to the same problem. How do you get the retailers on board? The retailers are what makes this and break this. And gaming stores don't seem to want to be involved with the small guys. It's the gaming stores have such a problem because they're fighting off, advances with Kickstarter, with RPG Now, with selling direct, and you're trying to find ways to make them inclusive into this whole thing, and it doesn't seem like it's working. And to me, I always wonder, are we at the point right now in the industry that gaming stores are something that are not valid anymore? I mean, how many people here? I mean, okay, that's a good question. Let me ask. I'm gonna put this out there. How many people here go to the gaming store on a regular basis? And a regular basis, I mean once a week. Yeah. What else? You know what? I'll even be nicer. Once every 2 weeks, because I'm willing to get that most people do at least once every 2 weeks. But that's not a lot. That's relatively not a lot at all. You can visit the comic book store. Most people visit the comic store at least once a week. If they're Wednesday comics, they come in, boom, got them, and they may come back on the weekend if they miss something. I know I go probably once every 2 weeks. But okay, let me phrase that. I go once every 2 weeks to my game store. To my comic book store, I'm usually there every Wednesday. They also sell games, but I don't buy my games there. I buy my games from somewhere else. Dale, I haven't set a foot in my local game store this year. Okay, 6 months in, Dale's not stepped 1 foot in. I gotta wonder, either his store is horrible, or the people are crazy, or he's just too busy, or, I mean, why wouldn't we go to our local game store? I wonder what's the reasoning for that? I'm not gonna use the word hatred, but what's the cause to not have people come in? Are the retailers not helpful? Is it store not clean? I mean, let's be honest, a lot of stores are not clean. I've been to stores that I know I wouldn't send my wife, well, my wife, if she was alive, I wouldn't send them to, because it was like, this is a sleazy store. This store, I've been there in a while. This is the last time I went was a couple of years ago. But it was literally, I even wrote a post about it. It was so dark and dingy, I was even slightly afraid that I might get mugged in the place. I mean, it was like 3 working lights. It was real dark. It was like a seedy place. I mean, if you didn't know better, you think it was like a porn company was making stuff there. I mean, it didn't look good for a game store. And I believe, having had the pleasure of working in lots of game stores, if the place is not really brightly lit for women, they're not coming in there. Women don't want to. If women don't feel safe in the store, they're not buying anything. And having women gamers in your store will help your store. That's just a basic law of business, because I don't want to go any place where 50% of the potential clientele are cut off and don't want to feel like coming in. That's a bad scenario. You don't win like that. When it's clean, it's well lit, you see women not just coming, but behind the counter working, that encourages your customer base. We have a store here in Florida. Well, Fort Lauderdale. Well, technically it's Lauderdale, but it's Fort Lauderdale. It's called Tate's. I know Tate. I've talked about Tate before. Tate has probably a 50-50% ratio male-female working at his store. It's and the manager, Joanne, has been there since as long as I've been going there, and that's been 16 years. And Joanne knows her stuff. She's a comic fan. She's an anime fan. She's a cool chick. Awesome, awesome fan. So it's like she's not trying to BS you. She's not trying to be, as somebody says, a fake gamer girl, whatever that crap means. She loves this. She loves this stuff. She's always loved this stuff. So I've had people approach her, for all the wrong way. Hey, little girl, why don't you get somebody who knows? And then she rips them a new one, which I think is hilarious, but that's just me. But it's just amazing that people don't think that's important to it too. So there's so many things. There's so many things that need to be done to get people to come into stores. And I don't think Free RPG Day is doing it. Like I said, I did it twice, and honestly, I won't ever probably do it again. It's just financially a strain. It didn't help me get any more customers, and it's one of those such scenarios that looking back, yeah, we should have just released that as a PDF. Maybe have our own. Hey, Free RPG Day, boom, and we're gonna release it on the same day as it. Free. Go get it online. You print it out, you play it. I think that might be something for the future, but once again, you cut out the stores. So is Free RPG Day about getting more customers for the stores? Is it about expanding the hobby to more people? Is it, is it about satisfying the people who are already in the hobby so they can get more stuff? These are all important questions, and I think that we're not answering them right. We're not even attempting to answer these questions correctly. I think there's so many problems in this industry that we need to focus on. We forget about some of the basic stuff. I don't know. It's one of those things of, I'm glad I went into the local store for Free RPG Day. I wish it was, even I said, oh, there's not a lot of stuff. I mentally think this is probably going to be last year, because it's just too much stuff going on. There's not enough excitement, and there's not enough way to, make it more profitable for the people involved. So, it's sad to say it like that, but it's true. I mean, it's true. Who makes out on this deal? Who profits in this? I don't know. See, just like I said, it gets upsetting that once again, this industry that's full of tons of creative people, tons of creativity, we're just doing the same old thing. I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to sound like a Debbie Downer, but at the same time, it's like, come on, man, gotta be something new we can do, some way to get people interested. Oh, that's okay. Dale puts a good comment. Dale goes, game stores are really, says, in my opinion, game stores are not really relevant to the hobby if you are not Paizo and Wizards, which is true. I mean, there is definitely a more importance if you're in the top two, but that's like with anything else. I think that anybody, if you're in the top two, you're important. If you're not in the top two, you're not important. But I think as a whole, we need to work better. I think we need to figure it out how to team up better. Let me see. To reach venues. Yeah, those are all reasonable things to do. I think that we need to find also better ways just to get people. Like I said, once again, trying games. If there's a way to try them, mini games, or get them at least hey, I played this, or let's find a way to make a short version of Pathfinder, or mini Pathfinder. The basic rule box came out, and there were some supplements for. I think there was some supplements. There's some cups that they did online, but there was no real follow through and opening that up. I was always hoping they'd open that for guys like me, third party, to see what we would have done. I think we would have made some really interesting ideas to help promote that kind of stuff, and even getting that into stores, I think, could even be a good way. But once again, same old problems. This is the same old problems, and here we are doing the same old thing. 2016, same old things I was talking about from 1998. you add online, and now it's just a I don't know. It's a great opportunity to be inventive right now, but no one really is. And I think people are worried about, why do I need to do this? See, this went from very, very high to very, very low. So that's what happens sometimes. All right, I'm going back in my office. Boom. It's going to be one of those days. And let's see.